Welcome to another interesting episode of the Voice of Dufuhs, brought to you by the Stars Media. Today, I'm your host, OJ Solomon, and joining me today are...
Easy, thank God.
Okay guys, today we have an interesting topic, though underrated, but very important in the society. We'll be discussing again on mental health and complex. And if you remember, we had a previous conversation on this, and we promised to bring back further information on it. So today we are diving into clinical aspects of mental health and discussing its complex. So, Mr. Tango, please can you help us understand how the balance of the vulnerability, or say the boundaries, when sharing our mental health experiences?
Alright, first off, I want to start out by saying that it's important to understand the scope of mental health before we begin to talk about the balance and vulnerabilities that come with our mental health. For starters, I would say WHO defined mental health as a state of complete well-being, mentally, emotionally, even physically. So according to WHO's definition of mental health, it cuts across your mind, your emotions, and even there is a relationship between your mental health and even your physical health. Now, talking about the vulnerabilities and the balance in sharing your mental health, we discover that usually there is this skepticism with people sharing or giving information about their mental health because of maybe the whole the way they will be perceived by other people, and probably because of shame. Sometimes they get to believe that it's a private thing and they are the only ones going through it. But I think there was a spike in the understanding of mental health when we began to from 2019 to 2020 and even up until 2024, there was a raised awareness for mental health, because before now, mental health, if you say mental health, people narrow it down to
psycho.
to being psychotic or displaying characteristics of psychosis. So I would say the whole vulnerability and balance in sharing mental health boils down to the fact that sometimes people don't know how they will be perceived, and as such they try to restrict giving out very important
and silence treatment.
You said
silence treatment?
Yes, actually.
Wow, that's a whole lot of enlightenment and out there, which is actually valid. You agree, Mr. Bright?
So
yeah, because I believe that a lot of people prefer to privatize what they are going through because you don't know what the other person opinion, public opinions and the stigma that comes with it. Okay, Mr. Bright, what can you tell us about complex? What does complex, inferiority complex have? What's the role in mental health?
Inferiority complex is very crucial.
Okay.
When you talk about mental health, because you find out that everything around us deals with energy.
Okay.
I know one of those days when they say problem solved is a problem problem shared is a problem half solved. These days now, after sharing your problem, you still pick it up 100%. Look for how to solve your problem.
Okay.
You get? So, and you still see that the challenge that we young guys are having is we share challenges with the young people.
I think.
Because for me, I feel that we are supposed to get ideas from people that are above us.
Okay.
On how to navigate better.
Okay.
But you see what's happening these days with our phones. You get a whole lot of junk.
Digital, online,
and when you see this thing, people digest information differently. The way, thank God, assimilates his own information differ from the way I assimilate information. And in my environment, among my peers, the signals, they are all different.
Yeah, that's true.
And this plays a very, very crucial role, because I might see, thank God, that somebody that, is living up to a particular standard that okay, I like this standard, I wish I can be that standard. But not knowing that it took process for Tango to get to where he is.
Process.
And I would just jump into a fast lane to be like
Tango.
Therefore, putting myself on the line. And tomorrow I'll jump out and say, and start feeling. That's where depression comes in.
Okay.
Because you want to impress for the level you're not. You're not at that level yet. But you just want to prove that you're at that level. And you find out that when things are not closing up, you now start falling back.
Inferiority
And
complex.
then now your mental health
Start years.
on the line.
Depression comes in.
Depression comes in, and what have you?
I think I pick up some lines there, talking about when you're able to measure and sharing your problem with the wrong person. You know, when it says a problem shared is half solved. I think the only problem is when you share the problem with the wrong persons. Understanding who to share your problem is something people should know. You don't just.
Let me touch on something.
Okay.
Sorry to continue. Concerning what Herbert said.
Okay.
He said we are receiving information, we are being choked with information and all that. And it's something I don't want you to leave out.
Okay.
Because you see, the advent of the social media blessed the world, but then the advent of the social media also brought this whole thing with comparison, that people tend to now compare themselves. If you don't get to see what the other person is doing and there is no comparison, it would not have actually spiked the whole thing we now struggle with our mental health. Because baseline complex and mental health problems is the bulk of it. Baseline is comparison.
And once comparison comes in and you're not measuring of inferiority complex steps in, I get this, and I think I want to ask something out there. When people fail to understand, it's all about process. They fail to understand that what they are saying out there on the media, it took process, it took time for the individual to actually attain to that level. And where you are, let me say, 100 level student seeing an already graduate, maybe a PhD holder. Like I remember a particular clip I saw in Yola, is a PhD holder. I think I heard that. Okay, yeah, influential, your social media influential. He said something. It was like, young people out there, you see us. It's true, yes, he's 23 or is it 4? So that he went to school, he did his time. Do you get it? That you should do your time. Go to school. Yes, it's true they're living the shouting life, the celebrity lifestyle. But they did the time to get this information. Get your own information. When people fail to get information, you just want to overnight skyrocket to. Do you get it? To the place of influence. Unknown to you that to attain influence, you need to build followers. You need to build followers from 1K, from 1 to 2 to getting to million. It takes a whole lot of hard work. It's not just something that just happened overnight. Just don't wish it and Santa Claus makes it happen on Christmas.
And sometimes we don't all have the same path.
Everybody has their own path.
Not everyone will be big on social media. I think the whole thing with the strain on our mental health is because people, like we are already establishing, people are just so bent on comparing their paths with the path of other people. They think, oh, maybe because Mr. A has this and I don't have this. Yes, I need to have it at all costs. And then with the whole information overload, you can lock yourself up in your room and you are in touch with the whole world. And then you're not building, which is another way to stabilize your mental health by aside things like maybe exercise. Having very good relationships around you is one of the ways. Let me go ahead to say that to stabilize your mental health. Now you're not relating with people, and then you're just locked in, looking at how everyone's life is making sense
without even understanding.
Yes,
you just think what you're saying is how it is, not knowing is beyond what you're saying. Okay, speaking on that, can we just address how to intersect mental health and technology? How to intersect it?
Or maybe Mr. Bright should go first.
Okay. How to intersect?
Yeah.
The thing now is, you know what you're up against.
Okay.
You get. You know what you're up against.
Knowing what you're up against.
That is the first tackle, the first way to solve a problem is identifying the problem.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know that your mental health is on the line, you can't tackle it.
And when you get that information online,
So
you know how to.
you need to have that knowledge that you as a whole, you are your brand.
Oh,
You get it? And if anything should happen to you, you're gone.
Alright.
That brand that you're trying to build is gone. You protect yourself by the information you give out, first of all.
Okay.
Because I believe that whatever you don't give out can be used against you. So first of all, you protect yourself by the information you give out. And then you still protect yourself from the information that you digest. I keep on eating on information because you find out that everything we do revolves around information.
Okay.
My life today is as a product of information.
Yes.
People that I've listened to over time.
Okay.
If I had subscribed to let's just say the hip hop lifestyle and the OP lifestyle,
Yeah.
hopefully by now I'll be feeling as if I'm not meeting up to a standard.
Okay.
But because I'm subscribed to things that are enriching and things that are actually building me towards the right
That have value based.
destiny. So I don't feel I'm dragging anything with you the way you are now. You get it? And that is me protecting
Yourself.
myself from other negative information that I don't really need.
So I think you're trying to bring that out right now that you have to be careful with the information you consume and what you give out.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of people listen to anything out there. You just see someone speaking emotionally, you buy into it. You know, some of us are emotional listeners. One person is speaking into based on our emotions, speaking into based on what we feel like we want to hear. We're listening. Maybe currently that time, maybe your dad had heard that you complain about how you're irresponsible. And you move online and hear somebody telling you about parental and parental. It's like, yes, you're speaking truth. Speak up, bro. Things like that. No, that is not what you need at the moment. You need time to do some super reflection. Check what you have done. What resulted my dad current? Like, what is the way forward? What is the valuable, let me say, productive solutions? People fail to do that. So what can you tell us on intersecting your mental health and technology?
Well, your mental health and technology, like I earlier on said, with the advent of technology came this rise in mental health challenges because people no longer build very cordial and valuable relationships. People easily compare themselves. People want to get to goals quickly without process, like you earlier on mentioned. So what's the balance between the use of technology and our mental health? First of all, not to sound like I'm repeating what Bright said, but I would want to say that you need to be careful with what you're also taking.
Yeah.
You need to be careful. You see, the new university is not the four walls of school. The university is on your path. This is the new university. People are schooled every day.
Yeah.
They learn from very absurd teachers sometimes. They learn from people that have zero values, zero clues. Or if they seemingly look flashy or look like they have something to say. You know, there are many people with minds that are saying garbage. They have
Exactly.
podcast platforms. They are giving garbage information, and people they gorge them down your throat, and you are like, the average young man doesn't even know. You know, they say what your elder seeks to see. That adage is no longer fair.
I understand.
Like, I try to
watch you. Okay. You know that to this effect, there was this clip I was watching online. The young man came out, nicely dressed in his blue suit, and you know what came out of his mouth? That you should drink alcohol first thing in the morning. And the next thing that a counterpart said, oh, this young man, he looks good, he wears suit and he speaks good English. That means the information is definitely right.
Now, speaking of information, you know, I do tell my friends sometimes. I say that, okay, like in the school facility, if someone like the cleaner come and say they will not be school tomorrow, you tend to doubt it. But if someone like your dean or the vice chancellor say there will not be school, even while you're in the classroom, you will stand up and leave. Why? based on the source of information. People don't know the source of information actually varies. Talking about podcasts, when you have podcasts and all these valid, when you see the followers having something like over a million followers and all something like this is a valid source of information. People should be careful with what they give out there. You know, a lot of millions of people are streaming it. But I think people are some more or less deliberate about giving out garbage as information.
Yes, because you can only give what you have. The people giving out garbage over time, you see, there is a woke view our generation has about life, and this is not to, I'm part of that generation, but there is this woke view. People that have certain biases to life,
Okay.
they sell it out to very young and very gullible people, and they because these informations are being you see, some of the people that have mics and have podcasts on YouTube, they want to make money. It's not that they love you. They want to get streams and views. It's not because they are after you. In seeking information, you have to look at you see, if you must receive from someone, you have to observe their lives. There's a popular I would like to quote from the Holy Bible that by their fruits you will know them. It's popular. Yeah. When you see people giving out, when you see the results following their own life, put yourself in their shoes and do I want to look like this person in 20 years?
I think it's somewhere I saw the proof of wisdom is in results.
Yes, the proof of wisdom is actually in results. It's also a biblical term. The Bible said that wisdom is justified by her children. Okay. You will always know that. You will always look like the people you follow. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
If they are don't think you follow the guy you just like his maybe his podcast platform or his songs or you just like him, but you don't like his lifestyle. You fail to understand that what churned out those things was his lifestyle. And eventually you start seeing the same patterns repeat in your own life. And so I think that coming back to the question you asked, where technology intersects with mental health, we must tread cautiously with the use of technology. I remember there's this documentary on Netflix. It's just that it's not coming to mind right now. Okay. It's some of the guys that designed that were part of the building of some of these multinational companies like Facebook, companies like even Netflix, and some of these companies. They started to raise alarm because of what some of their inventions were, the outcome of some of their inventions. And that documentary highlighted how much you're wondering how you just discussed something with somebody, right? You just said something about, or maybe you started having a desire to look for
thinking of something,
and then you said
something.
Yes. So the algorithm was not designed to favor you. If you think that maybe they are just giving you based on the algorithm itself was not designed to favor you. That's why you must lord over yourself. You must be able to tame yourself.
Know what you want.
Yes, know what you want. Know the kind of people you listen to. I also want to tie this a bit to family, because you see, the first point of socialization should be the family and not the social media. The first point of socialization is the family and not the social media.
I think you are going for, because we're still going to go into the place of family to mental health. So let me just ask a question, since you're talking about family already. Now, what do you think is the role of family in the place of mental health and complex?
Alright, like I earlier stated before you raised the question, our family is supposed to be that platform that builds our self-esteem, our value system, our beliefs. It's supposed to stem from our family. The first person who should tell a lady I love you is not her boyfriend. It should be her father. It should be her mother. There is this security in your emotion when you come from the right family, right? But we now see how much that in our own day and time, the reverse is the case. And for so many reasons, for things like maybe divorce, for things like for some reason parents are not, and this is with every sense of honor and respect, some parents are just, they only gave birth to the children, but they are not actually parents. Because to parents is deeper than being the one who brought the person into the world. You would agree with me. So I think the role of family, first of all, is that the family, there should be this inculcation of the right value system from cradle. The child should know, you see, before the child mixes with society, you should already inoculate them. it's almost like a vaccination system where you inoculate the
Yes.
child with the so that their immune system is properly formed to
Programmed
be able
from pre-time
yes, to
on
defend
some certain disciplines.
yes, to defend the garbage that is coming. And this all boils down to the strength of our family. But then again, you also know that if the parents are not okay, the child almost has no, you're not the one who is going to make the family train or build you up in the right way.
Yeah.
So my suggestion to every young person who may have come from a very battered upbringing, maybe you lived with 5 aunties, and maybe, you know, sometimes the whole mental health thing and depression comes from very abusive foundations. So I would suggest that for people that are like that, you need to go for superior knowledge. You need to go for superior knowledge. You need to, it's both logical and it also transcends being logical. You see, as cliche as it may sound, some of our religious societies help to form some of us even sitting here. Even though I know we don't all subscribe to the same religious values, but there was this inculcation that yes, that came very early, that helped you navigate between right and wrong. In this day where we have my truth, your truth, our truth,
Speak your truth.
and all these kinds of where there is no plumb line, when you discover that, oh, I didn't really get it from my family, you should begin to look forward to superior mentorship. Superior mentorship. If you follow any mentor, you see, one of the ways the child learns, even from cradle, is by seeing.
Role models.
Yes, is by seeing. As they see their parents do. You see,
They
maybe,
tend to
yes.
follow that
You see, maybe parents that are dancers, their children they want to turn that way. Parents that are maybe preachers, you see their children trying to pray on them and stuff. Because children don't necessarily learn from what you say, okay, do this. They learn from example. They learn by sight.
Speaking of role models, right, can you first understand the role of role models on complex? Does role models really have something to play in complex?
That's a good one because in this day and time, role models are very, very important part of everyone's life. It's the concept of role model have been interchanged.
Hijacked.
Because who is your role model? You see a medical student having as his sim as a role model.
I was expecting something.
Oh, no, I don't.
No, I get you. No, that's actually true. It's actually
Find out
true.
that first of all, you define yourself. You define yourself. Whatever you haven't defined, you haven't even started. You don't even know where you are. You get? It's if I don't define myself that okay, this is what I would want to look like in the next 10 years, and I'm looking for a role model. You think I'll be a disaster to that role model, or the role model will be a help to me? You get? And then now you look for a role model that suits your purpose.
Moving towards the channel.
A lot of people you see a chef going to make
Mbappe.
that's the example. Because I even wanted to point out somebody in that light, a role model. You guys are doing something different. You get?
In as much as Mbappe is a good person.
Yes, he's a good person in his field.
But is not valid
He
on
will give you a very good advice for players, not for a chef.
Exactly.
You get?
Let's put
So
it
you
that way.
should
That's
look
how we
for-
get it.
You should know the people that are role modeling you.
Based on your sphere.
Thank you. Because you're seeing them, you're learning from them.
Yes.
And whatever you look at for a long while, there is a high tendency that you're becoming.
Exactly.
You get that you're becoming. So we should all look forward to getting people in our field and making them people that are very successful in our field. Because a role model have to be successful before you follow the trend you get in our field. And then we'll watch. And then we'll also see. For the fact that this person is in my field and is successful doesn't mean I buy all the ideas that
Plates all the jobs.
Thank you. We should see because for that person is different from me.
Yes. He has his own template to life.
I'm also unique.
You might have yours.
Thank you. I'm also unique to myself. So role model plays a very, very important role because we all need guidance.
Thank you, Mr. Bright. If I to add something to this, if I'm allowed to, I think role models If we fail to understand what purpose is, that's when abuse comes in. You see, when someone fails to understand the value placed on what you are looking for, you see complex comes in. Okay, my role model say he's not a professor and I'm still a 100 level student. I should understand that this person did this time in school, did some other degree programs, did some few things that placed him there. When I now want to hijack the place of 100 level student to the place of professorship, you see complex comes in because I'll be feeling unable to him.
It's putting your mental.
You get it puts in your mental, you get disturbed. People don't know this. You find yourself trying to, maybe he's wearing a tuxedo, worth millions of naira. You want to replicate. You shouldn't do that. You should know it is only your role model based on a particular phase of academia, and you're shaping yourself based on your studiousness towards your study and work towards it. Some people fails to see it this way. They want to see his dressing, the manner of the way he speaks, the type of friends, you know, all this. They are brilliant, but you have to understand that it takes time to build towards it. Yes,
I want to say something. You see, one of the things that has been eroded in my generation and your generation is the place of process. Our generation actually is the place of process.
Okay.
There, sometimes you can be doing everything right, and it's just the law of seasons. You don't bloom in every season. Even plants don't bloom in every season. It's a normal function of life that you get to certain. You see, you didn't tell your body to begin to develop facial hair when you started developing. It was the season.
And it happened.
I had someone say, a very profound mentor of mine, he said, when you wear tomorrow's clothes today, you will go naked tomorrow, right? When you eat tomorrow's food today, you will go hungry tomorrow. There is that, it must be enshrined into the heart of every young person. Life, you know, in very popular lingo, we say life in a turn by turn. There is a sequence to life. There is a sequence to life. I'm sure this video will get far and someone will get to see this. If there was anything I would want you to pick up, is like there is a sequence to life.
There's a process.
I want to point out something I didn't get to add in the beginning about the definition of mental health. Being physically, emotionally, and mentally stable. That one, they are aware of their abilities and they are able to cope with the normal life issues, right? And they are productive to their community. Because you see, you cannot develop, you cannot properly select a good role model if you are not aware
of your own
abilities. You cannot select a good. Some people for very minute and tiny reasons, they follow people. Oh, I like the way he smells.
Out of fantasy.
Yes. What does that have to do with your destiny? I like the way he dresses. What does that add to your own life? So there must be this place where you understand your abilities, you understand your direction in life. And one of the ways divinely God helps us to, because I believe that you cannot talk about the subject of purpose and self-knowing and you extract God from the equation. And one of the ways God helps us to do this is by bringing the right role models before us. It's almost like when if you read some of the stories of great people, it was almost because they saw some other person do the same thing they were born to do. It stirred that desire in their heart and they wanted to be like this person. So usually God will bring around your space. He will bring people that were created, yes, to do the same things you were born to do, so that it can spark a flame in your heart to be able to rightly pursue them. And as you begin to pursue, you see that the more you go, the more you step in their shoes. I also want to say this, right? And it won't be too sudden to add, since we're talking about this whole role model thing. You see, there is direct and there is indirect mentorship.
Okay.
But sometimes you tend to learn very well when the mentor is close. You can have a mentor that is so far that you watch from afar.
All right.
But in the same way, it's just like the way a measuring cylinder is calibrated. For instance, if we have, let's say, 500 centimeter cube, half down the line we have 250. I'm saying as much as you have a mentor that is at the 500 mark, have someone that is at the 250 mark. The one at the 250 mark is the one who would help you leverage on his stories to help you get into the 500. Because sometimes the guy is at 500, you don't even know how he got there, even though you know you want to be there. The guy at the 250 can tell you, oh, because he's still closer to your own, to your own realm, to your own sphere. He can throw some certain advices to you that you can pick up, and it will get you started. And then you can also scale and get to that eventual height that you want to get.
You said something. You said something. You know, I was telling some of my friends that if you're going to have any good advisor, it is someone you call, someone I always go to get advice from. It's not necessarily an elderly person. It's someone within your age range, someone who experiences, who still have a practicing experience of what you are going through. Some of them have passed through that stage. They might actually remember per se. They might actually just break up the information just based on, you know, conclusive life experience, not based on experiential part of it. So people have to understand that yes, sometimes, in as much as we need people with age as advisors or as counselors, we also need someone with your age space who knows yes, this shoe right now. Okay, some people don't know some of them don't know what the social media is all about. Yes, respect to them. They have their own established understanding about the social media, but we ourselves are going in here every now and then, knowing what is happening there. My cousin sister wants to get, I know it's summer out, but it's still inclusive. She wants to get into the secondary school right now. She's like, I told my auntie that I'm being careful about the school she goes because I know what is in the school system now. Do you get? So I'm looking for a very good missionary school, not just a profound no, but something that with time that tested to be yes, this is actually okay to go into. We say some Pokemon and deeper life, these are schools we know that yes, we have seen their results and it's something to bank with. I have friends from places like this and I've seen their behavior. It's different from us from the regular private schools. You get nothing. These are things I could tell my auntie. She doesn't know it. She's not a mother, but she doesn't know that in her own time there are things it being discussed. You will not believe it's there. A 3-year-old child will behave like they're not like, a 3-year-old child doing this thing? Why? How? What is happening is only there. Okay, speaking of accessibility, I want to ask a question. Is there a way, how can we address systematic barriers to mental health care, such as access and availability? Like, how can someone access these materials? Or how can we afford them? Because it seems like, when we talk about mental health, people feel like it's all about millions of naira, and, people don't know, like, people need to know if they are around us, is there a way to access the materials? Is there a way to get help within reach? A child under abuse, a child depressed, is there a way to access materials for help? Can you help us understand that?
I would say that in truth, a lot has not really been done in Nigeria concerning mental health. Even though compared to how it was in a few years ago rather, things are getting better. I think a bill was signed by Muhammad Buhari. I think that was around 2022 now, if I'm not mistaken. 5th of January particularly. It was a new health bill that was carved out to replace the Lunacy Act of 1958 now. That bill was supposed to make mental health, to help respect the mental health of people.
It's a community.
Yes, and then help to take the whole awareness thing of mental health down to very grassroots cadres, like communities, so that people can actually know more about mental health. Yes, but I would say that the way to actually to overcome some of the barriers concerning mental health and the way to be able to get help, concerning mental health is, first off, you must be relational. I know that many people have related and they've had their fingers burnt, but nonetheless, you still need someone else. When people are going through mental health situations, like maybe the most popular ones in Nigeria, like maybe depression, anxiety, and all that, many times you think you are the only one, and that you can go this route alone. sometimes it becomes so overwhelming that people think that I should just, it begins to generate suicidal thoughts, right? So I think at the base of it, we were not created as the human race to function individually.
Okay.
We were created to be interdependent. So I think number one, you must be relational. Number two, this is where the distinction comes in you being relational. This is where the distinction comes. You should be able to relate with those that are ahead of you, those that have done life, that have been, so that you can glean from their experience. Before we begin to talk about maybe, okay, you need to see it. How many people see a therapist in Nigeria? Or maybe I need to, sometimes you won't come to...
So you black don't believe in therapy.
Yeah,
I think that's the trend.
So I would say that around us, for people in secondary school, sometimes you have teachers that
counseling units.
yes, you have counselors in schools, right? Sometimes your parents don't even know what it means to be having, they don't even want to know that as what are you thinking about? You're this young, what are you thinking about, right? So I think that you must be able to, you must come to that position where you know that, oh, I'm not the only one going through this, and I need to let someone know about it. Don't conclude that, oh, I can fix it up by myself. Don't be ashamed of it. You should be able to relate it, but relate it to the right people. Relate it to people that can provide help to you. And you will know. How would you know? Many times those people, they are not so much too far, like I earlier mentioned. And there are people that have, they are not far to reach. You know, there are some people that, yes, there are some people that, I don't even mean proximity. I mean relational reach. Okay. I can be close to you proximally, but I can't reach you.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you see someone that you can reach, someone that you know you can reach, sometimes you know, just in school now, I know we are different faces, but you know those friends of yours that I can reach this person on this. So you should be able to relate to people, to those kinds of people, so that they can provide help. I would say a therapist, but in truth, not everyone would have that leverage or can pay as much to see. Not everyone will go for counseling in closed rooms and closed doors. But I would say you should take advantage of maybe lecturers that are within reach. Okay. Principals, school instructors that are within reach, and especially clergy people that are within reach. And you see, in doing all of this, you must be careful. That's why I'm using the tag within reach. There are some of them that are not within reach. Some of them are just, they are, you know,
they might take advantage.
Yes, they may take advantage of your. So you must be careful. You must be able to read that. Oh, this person, and I would say sometimes you have this gut feeling that, oh, I should reach out to this person. I've been privileged to hear not just to help people in some certain areas, right?
Okay.
What
you're saying is actually valid. Sorry, I'm cutting you short. No problem. Yeah. Talking about getting people beyond reach, you know, getting these help systems. I think we're having a challenge right now, having to know who is beyond reach, who is within what you can talk to. So, Mr. Brett, can you help us understand how someone, like, let's say someone who is going through these challenges, how can you really tell you can confine with someone? Can someone really tell, like, to be precise, I can communicate to this person and get help? Can it be known for a certain, like, to be known for sure?
The thing is, let's all be aware that a lot of people have been disappointed by people they trust.
So is the problem from the person trusting or for the person they trusted?
Okay. You get. Now, we all have our opinion and our views of right and wrong.
Okay.
You know what is right and you know what is wrong. Regardless of the fact that society is now trying to paint black to look like white and all those stuff. You get. Well, and again, I will really put that we should be present. A lot of things happen to a lot of people because they are not present. If you're present, like Tango rightfully pointed out initially, like come to the white family.
Okay.
You only realize that this message are coming to you if you're present. If you're present, there's a whole lot of chemistry that goes on. Unique chemistry. Because these people, they are all around us.
Yeah.
Good and bad, right and wrong people, they are all around us. The problem is in identifying them. Now, I know what I want.
Yes.
How will I figure out the right people for this thing? There is one mechanism that me personally I usually apply.
Okay.
I hardly come to somebody for advice.
Okay.
But what I will do is, I will engage you in an interesting topic, interesting conversation. And I'll read in between the lines.
Try the person.
No, not trial, not like an advice, because I believe that when I come to you for an advice, this is just me now. When I come to you for an advice, you want to paint the scenario and make it pleasing to me, because it's a scary world.
Yeah.
There are things that you definitely want to hide out from me.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it to you like an open conversation. I do it a lot. I do it a lot, even to some professors in this university. I've done it to them. I go to their office, they'll be like, right, how you come with a problem again? I say yes. I'll throw an open conversation. Why they are talking? Because now you see them talking from the depth of their hearts. They want to express
with no limitations.
Thank you, with no limitations. They want to express their in-depth feeling on how they really feel about this thing and how they really feel this thing should be tackled.
Yeah.
For the fact that I defined my purpose before entering that office,
You are able to
I
achieve.
know what I will pick from that conversation. It's just a matter of CV. You get that's where CV too comes in. Even if I go to church today, everything the pastor says, I will see it out.
Okay.
It's not everything that the pastor says that is for me. I will see it.
Okay.
And I'll have to see it again and say, okay, I think that this one really resonates with my spirit.
Yeah.
You get it? And even the content that we subscribe to, everything is around us. Everything is around us. You get it? But where the problem comes in is in identifying. And if you're not present, I bet it will be very difficult for you to understand.
In as much as some people know what are praying in the place of saving information, you must always know that those are valid. You don't only just absorb everything. You must know what you need.
Exactly.
You must know where you are.
Exactly.
You know, some people live in the past, some people live in the future, forgetting the now.
Present.
You get it? I think that is something we should put there, like a tab. Learn to live in the present. Know what you want in the now. Know what you want. You can tell yourself to what you want. I think you should know what to mix. Okay. Now I want to ask another question about how we can promote, or how can you understand promote self-advocacy for mental health. How can we, right, like, help us understand, like, we talk about this mental health is out there already. Yes, okay, sometimes people don't know who to talk to. Now, how can you promote self-advocacy? What are the channels we can use? Let's use our school community, for example. How can you promote self-advocacy for mental health?
Well, for me, what my mechanism, because you only know yourself.
Yeah.
You get, is first of all, I know you can't reach out to everybody.
Okay.
At the go.
That's true.
You can't know what's right at everybody's mind. But for the little that you can do, try to make a fellow smile. I have it as a slogan.
Okay.
Try to make a fellow smile.
Wow.
And like whenever
Try to make it feel smart.
whenever I'm coming out, I don't know what you're passing through. You don't know what I'm passing through. And to a good extent, whatever you're passing through is none of my business. Because I have mine too.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
true.
that we should have that environment where if I should see thank God, I shouldn't just be like, oh, he's just his own person doing his own thing. I don't know thank God, but I should be able to be like, good afternoon, young man. We shake hands. You get there's that relieving, there's that stress that is being relieved off your shoulder that somebody talks to me today.
Yeah.
You get, there was one day I was coming out at the roundabout there, and I saw this new student, I haven't talked to her before. I was just like, hey, what's up? What's good? And then the way she smiled, I wanted to leave. She called me back saying, why did I talk to her? I was like, I don't understand. To me, it's not a new thing. I just like, the way I saw you, you're just coming, I decided to lighten you up. She said, thank you very much. I've been passing, coming out from the roster, it's been a whole lot of stress. A lot of things has happened. I said, okay. I won't bore you about it. Don't talk to me about it. Just be happy, whatever you're going through. You get. If I should come and you give me your story, I give you my story to be a whole lot of moody environment. Let's leave it around for a minute. Let's do that for a minute. Let's wear a smiley face and let's live in the present. You can see nothing is happening. Whatever is happening is in your head. It's happening.
Literally. Before I go to entertainment, I saw a movie where the guy said that whenever he has worries and he has troubles, he just make a paper plane and fly it. That's trouble. That's trouble flying away. And once he does it, he's satisfied and he keeps going forward. So please tell me, Mr. Tango, what is the main reason? How do you promote self? Like, what is the self-promotion for mental health? To advocate mental health, sorry.
I would say that, let me start off from where you pointed out. Storms pass. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You see, there are many people that they've made attempts on their own life, maybe cutting their wrist, trying to jump into the lagoon, thinking that their world has come to an end. It only hits hard at the time of impact. You know, they say time heals wounds. It may not entirely be the therapy. Time may not be the therapy, but in time, time releases this, it makes it better as days go by. So I would want to say that sometimes people think I will always feel this way when they are going through things. They think it will always be. No,
exactly.
You know, when a politician loses the election, after a while he goes back, or going back again.
We strategize.
So I think there must be this spirit of resilience in the heart of every young person to know that regardless of what comes or what you interface with, it's passing. Just the same way you're getting old, you know, when you were in, let's say, basic 5 or primary 6, there was something you did that you thought it was going to end your life.
Exactly.
But here you are now, right?
Literally.
Yes. So I think we must develop this spirit of resilience that regardless, our generation is so fragile. Oh, they didn't give me this, and then my life is going to. You understand? There must be this spirit of resilience, and I think it's one of the ways when you as a person, when you develop this spirit of resilience, you can comfort other people.
Yeah.
You can become the moving vehicle that transports other people from their place of pain, depression, negativity into positivity. You cannot give what you've not built. So I think it's not just an institutional thing where I'm actually depressed. Someone will say, let me go to an institution where they talk to. No, I think, like I pointed out initially, it must be a community thing. You must be relational, such that when you see somebody's mood down, you are able to decipher without them talking to you. And you're like, oh, what's happening? If they cannot confide in you, and you sense that, oh, there's someone you can talk to, you are like, oh, I don't know why this guy is like this. Maybe you should talk to him. So I think there must be this. To advocate for mental health and stability in our mental health, it must be a personal thing. It must be a war you are fighting. You have either won or you are fighting as a person, such that regardless, you don't let your joy go down. Regardless of what happens to you in the day, you don't just cave into depression, because on that, when you do that, you've added to the number of people that are in the long line that are in need of help. Exactly. So I think that we as students, we as young people, we must be that breed that brings this. We are like the moving advocates. That when you find a person who maybe they are somewhat not looking okay, and you can tell that you are like, are you sick? The person
you will pick up
yes.
from the signal, knowing that based on, because you have a relationship already,
yes.
you can tell this person has this problem
yes.
and know how to solve it.
And if you do not have the answer, because then again you don't know, if you don't have the answer, you can make referrals to them. You can say, oh, have you talked to this person? Oh, I think you should see this person. Sometimes you don't have all the answers. But someone should not be by your side going through something, and you don't point them out to someone else. Yes, that's like
okay. Getting
to add to what you have said, I really think that young people should come out. Do you know the reason why in our societies as if bad is prevailing?
Because nobody's speaking the truth. Nobody's
People are
bringing
always
out the
there to
lights.
push out. Yeah.
Exactly. I think the negative energies always are there in the front.
And,
Why those with the light tends to just keep to themselves.
And
Maybe
in our
that's the best
society,
place.
in our society, there's this normality with, if he doesn't have a white hair, it's just as if he doesn't have much of an experience.
Wisdom is not always age.
I know, that's where I'm coming, but you say in the society,
they
it's
have
almost like a
normalized
normal.
that.
You get? But lately you see that the young generation, they are coming with an extraordinary wisdom. Insight. So I think that young people should be more engaged.
Okay.
Young people should be more engaged, because I bet you, I've had far more conversations with young people than with old people.
Okay, continue.
And I benefited.
Continue. Don't be playing there. You know, working with time.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, just going back to what we said about making your advisors not just being only those of age.
Yes.
Even someone with your age gap. Maybe it's
Exactly.
about
Exactly.
what they got on about 2.5 and you know, talk about that. You have to always remember that people around your sphere tends to have valid information to give to you. Practical information to give to you that can solve the practical problem, in as much as the elderly have the valid information.
too.
Okay, so let's just round this up right now. Rounding it up, I think some things to add to what you have said about self-advocacy or mental health. People should also know that the short-term goals matters. You know, depression comes in when you feel like you are attempting to get a 5-point CGP and you are seeing a 3-point CGP. You should know that your short-term goals are more important, are also valid. They're as important as your long-term goal. Let me say at the end of the semester you have something like a 4-point or 3-point CGP. You just want to take care of yourself for the next semester matters. Take care of yourself for the next semester. Do you get it? Take care of yourself for the next semester. Work very hard. Next semester you continue. It's a long-term goal. You need short-term goals to work to achieve them. Don't just fall off the wagon because of some little limitations. Thank you. I really appreciate.
I want to say something as we wrap up, and this would be like my closing line. To say, if we are going to tie the knot on mental health, we are not going to entirely tie it if we don't talk about a bit on the subject of purpose. Many times the reason why, and it also relates to the whole goal thing, the reason why people look like they are just, their mental health is poor and all that, aside the many things we have pointed out, is that there is no sense of purpose and vision.
And when a purpose of thing is not appears to be negative.
When there is no sight of vision and purpose, right? When a young person wakes up and there is nothing, you see, if you are not doing anything that is making your heart beat fast, in few years to come, you will be behind your colleagues. You must be daring enough to chase something. The energy, young people, we have energy, we have time. You understand? You know, when all of a sudden you just wake up and discover you are 40 and you've not done anything with your life, God forbid. So I'm saying that we must be more act on purpose than easy desires, easy trying to just get by the day. We must have this consciousness of vision and purpose. And the third thing is that at the center of your life, the center of your life, if you are going to have a stable, this is my opinion, if you are going to have a working mental health, the place of God must be uncontested in your life. I know it's not a popular trend,
No.
but usually
I think that should be stressed continuously.
Usually there is how he binds up the frame of your mind. You know, and that's why when we were talking earlier, I talked about how that you see, there are some people that, and I'm not saying it's the best because we've talked about daring, dreaming, visions and stuff. Yeah. But there are people that only get by in life. I was watching a video on Instagram. The guy he was a felon or something. He had gone to prison rather, and then he was now picking trash and stuff. But his joy was palpable. And the only reason he was that joyful was the place of God in his life. He had been through a lot in his life. So I would say that we tend to trivialize the place of God
in our life.
Yeah.
And that makes humanity goes haywire, chaos comes in. We must understand that if peace must be absolute, the God factor cannot be ignored.
First.
Okay, thank you all. I really appreciate it. It's been a whole long ride. The truth is, talking about complex and mental health cannot be done in less than an hour or 30 minutes. No, it takes a whole. That's why I decided to bring it episode by episode. So hello guys, thank you once again for following us. I really believe that our distinguished guests have conclusively, to a degree, brought out information we were able to discuss in the first episode. So this is we rounding up, and we really appreciate if you follow us up continuously, because we'll still be bringing up more topics on mental health. So please don't forget to like, share, recommend your friends to follow our links, listen to our podcast. This is your own way of self-advocating for mental health. Thank you. I'll see you next time.